very seldom do we have properties sit on the market for a long period of time, unless they're kind of a junk property. And I do have some of those, but boy, do they cash flow good when they're rented. But sometimes they'll take a little longer. I've got one right now, Ponca City in Oklahoma City, or Oklahoma, I mean. This thing, the cool thing about this whole property, and it's about a $48,000 property. It's not very expensive, but Jason, my COO, negotiated this deal out, and we pay $408 a month seller financing for 8 years until it's paid in full at 0% interest. So I'm paying $408 plus taxes and insurance. That's all I'm paying on this freaking property. And let me see if I can pull it up here. We rent it out for $998. So with taxes, insurance, and everything, this thing cash flows for $503.45. And I actually paid $39,000 for that property. Okay. And it's the other thing you got to think about is that $408 every single month that I'm paying is actually going right back into my own account, because it's 100% principal pay down right straight across equity. So am I losing anything? No, not at all. I'm just putting one money from my savings account into another savings account is all I'm doing.
So you're factoring like the population in that particular area before you even take a deal down. You don't want to, like, if it has like a population of 15,000.
So we used to be at 10,000. We changed that. We want 20,000 population, and we want to stay steady or inclining. And honestly, I also look for a Walmart. Walmart state goes into cities that are worthwhile, so we look for Walmarts.
Within how much? What's like what typically what's the range? Like within 5 miles or 10 miles?
If it's in a population of 20,000, I don't care where it's at. So Milledgeville is actually a little bit rural. It's outside of town. Okay. I think it's on like an acre property or something like that. And it's actually a mobile. I love mobiles. Okay. That particular property, it went vacant. I'm all in with, let's see, this one I took over. This one I did a private money lender, paid $64,000 for it. My monthly with taxes and insurance, and this is going to be interest only, is $686. We rent this one. It's out for $1,546 right now. It's an $856 cash flow. Okay, with a $12,000 option fee.
So even though you're saying rent out, but you're not taking on none of the rental responsibilities, correct? You're still renting it, but you're not assuming those responsibilities.
Yeah, that's where the lease with an option, they're pre-owners. But you're correct. We are not landlord renters.
And that has to be clear upfront before that tenant even moves in, that they will be 100% responsible for toilets, anything, all that type of stuff.
Absolutely. So when we talk to tenants like this, there's a whole script there in the course. But the first thing we're looking for is how many people are going to be living there. How soon do they want to move in? How are they employed? What is their income? Those are the biggest things I'm looking at. If they've got the money to do this and are employed decently, I'll take a look at them all day long. Then we have them go look at the property. Then we have them fill out the application. The application's $35 for everybody that's employed. Okay. But by the time they get to that application, I've already got them pre-qualified in my head. If they haven't lied to me and they can produce that income, I'm going for it, because I'm going to ask for that option fee. They're going to be giving me money up front and $5,000 or more to move in. So they're buying skin in the game. So I will take a chance if they have bad credit. I really don't care what their credit is. If they had good credit, they'd go get a mortgage. Okay. But they want to become homeowners, not renters. That's the biggest difference. They want the ownership. So once we get to that point, then at that point that they got them all approved, we turn around and say, okay, now we're going to send you over a lease and an option. But I want you and your significant other on the phone. We're going to go through it line by line and talk about it. So this is where we really deep dive into, yes, you are a pre-owner. Yes, you have maintenance. It even says in our lease, talks about appliances. The appliances are there free gratis. If they go out or have a problem, you have to fix it. If you want to change them out, you change them out. But if you ever leave the property, there has to be working appliances back in that property. They don't have to be the brand new ones you just paid $2,000 or $3,000 for, but there has to be appliances in there because I'm just giving them to the next person. I've got a couple properties. There's one here in Tolleson in Phoenix here. Doesn't come with a refrigerator. They have to bring their own refrigerator. But at the same time, the microwave, dishwasher, and oven, if it breaks, it's their problem. They got to take ownership. And that's our lease. How many pages is our lease, guys? Do you know? Off the top of your head?
17 and 17 to 19 pages between the both.
Yeah, so they're pretty extensive. And by the time you go through it, they know. Same thing when you get to the option, we're going through paragraph by paragraph, letting them know that that option fee is non-refundable. The only way that it's refundable is if I default somehow. The only way I can default is if I stop making the mortgage payment. Okay? Or the place burns down, and at that point, then we have a chance to put it back together with insurance money. Okay.
Are you going out your way to make sure they qualify? Like, I see a lot of people talk about like helping them fix the credit and stuff like that, you know, so they could qualify within that, whatever the time frame that you negotiated. Because from my understanding with the original seller, they might give you like a 1 year and then or 2 years you negotiate. No.
So yes, great question. So we look, because our end goal is the mailbox money and becoming the bank. To become the bank, because we are professional investors, you have to put them through Dodd-Frank or what they call the SAFE Act. Okay, to get them through the SAFE Act. So we use Max and Michelle. It's called the Underwriter, the underwriter.com, and you look them up. They're out of Michigan. They'll do all 50 states. They do all my underwriting for me. What he likes to see is 2 years of employment of the same job or same company. They want to see 2 years of credit with no delinquencies, no derogatories, no charge-offs. They want to see income that will support it. We usually look at 2.5 times the rent is what we want as a gross income. Okay. Then they have to have some kind of credit. So they're going to be looking at a cell phone bill will work, and a lot of times utility bills will work. The last thing they look at is what is their history on their payment with their rental right now. Okay. Well, because they've been with us, typically we do a 5-year term. We have that 5 years of history. Now, if I've got out of that 5 years and they've got 10 or 12 months that they didn't pay on time, I'm probably not going to sell or finance them. You're getting to sample these tenants to see what kind of pay structure they do for you. And if they miss a bunch of payments for you, then you're not going to sell or finance it anyway. You're going to either have them move out because they can't qualify for a new loan or whatever, but they have to have that steady payment for you.